Alright, so that's Dynasty Warriors Origins done. So, my thoughts on the game. I did manage to find the notes in the end. Not actual notes, but bullet points to talk about. So the first one is story. I really like the story. No surprise there. But more so that it improves on previous entries into the title, into the game. Because previously, all they did was just maybe a handful of cutscenes at best, and some narrative paragraphs to go with it. In this game, they actually bothered to set up a series of cutscenes that follow on from each other to build up towards a battle, which is nice. And you get to see some of the things that you never see in previous games, but existed in the novels. So, like that scene with Dong Zhuo, for example. You just defeat him in a battle in previous games, whereas you actually see him meet his end in this particular game. And during Chibi as well, where they set up, I think it's about 20 minutes worth of cutscene to set up the some of the intrigue that goes behind the battle, like Huang Gai's defection. If you knew Huang Gai, you knew he didn't actually defect, it was all a ruse. So yeah, that was a really nice way to do it. Some things they sort of cut short, like Kai Mao being defeated in battle and then executed afterwards for being suspected as a spy. Wasn't quite how it works. I just realised I missed some of those scenes because I didn't play as way. Yeah, in terms of story, really liked it, love the improvements. Could do some more in some ways to flesh it out a little bit more, but for a beat-em-up game or 1 versus 1,000, I think it's a really good improvement, and I'll probably give it an 8 out of 10 for that particular score. So let me jot this down very quickly. Spacebar's behaving, which is nice. Music. Love the music. Great remixes, some excellent classics there, and they've improved it. They've moved away from the heavy rock. That didn't make sense. They stayed with some of the more melodic pieces, and the fact they opened up game with a very memorable piece in the series is very nice. And even this one here, as you listen to it, it's very melodic. It's not just random rock and just noise in your face, which some of the old titles did. So yeah, I really liked it. Great improvement. So I'll give it 9 out of 10. I can't really complain, aside from maybe give me more. That's pretty solid. Yeah, so that's 9 out of 10 for the music. Graphics are okay. They are not quite this current generation's worth, but at the same time, it's a massive improvement from previous titles as well. So good job at Megaforce and Koei. But again, hey, some more story. But again, it's not quite up to what you'd see in like Elden Ring, or not quite the right style, but you know, Persona games and everything like that. So it's still lagging a bit behind. I don't think it's lagging as far behind as it did previous titles though. So graphics wise, I'd be able to fit hundreds and hundreds of soldiers on one screen is really good. Back in the past, they would fade away, and they wouldn't be able to hold that many soldiers. That like a epic charge in the previous game would be like 5 horsemen and the general riding into like an empty land, whereas this, you've got hundreds of soldiers clashing into like another 100 soldiers. Brilliant. So, but again, yeah, it's still behind a little bit on modern times, so I'll give it 7 out of 10 for graphics. Gameplay. I loved the gameplay. Might have heard it. I might have seen me smile as well a few times as I just got into it. Especially the massive brawlers. It's a real pain in the butt at times. When I'm surrounded by multiple officers and they are just serving my butt me on a silver plate. But I enjoyed it. Maybe I'm a masochist. Who knows? But I really liked it. Because, again, back in the past, you'd wave it into this huge army and they will just fall away like wet paper bags. Whereas in this game, I've actually got a fair few game overs, and I appreciate the fact that it has pushed me to have those game overs. So, good challenger. Even the basic nabs come at you in waves, and they all jump in the sky with their swords pointed towards you at the most opportune moments. So, yeah, gameplay-wise, in terms of like the AI and the number of soldiers, really good. In terms of the actual combat from your perspective as a player, they've improved on the basics. So you've got your basic combat system, which is fairly solid as a foundation. But they've added elements from games like Elden Ring or modern third-person adventure games, where you've got your perfect dodge, you've got your perfect defense, and then you've got like a stamina bar that depletes every time you use a skill, but they're very useful for depleting the enemy shields. And maintaining those resources, knowing the right time to dodge, and keeping your situational awareness keeps the game fresh. From the perspective of a viewer, you may not be able to feel it, but I'm constantly looking around me, making sure that whilst I'm attacking this person, I'm not leaving my flanks too empty. I'm not leaving myself open to counterattack. And sometimes I let a soldier or an officer get behind me, and all of a sudden I get propelled 10 meters away for no reason. So yeah, there's a fair bit of thinking about it beyond button mashing, which is very nice. So gameplay wise, I'd score it quite high. Can I think of any negatives whilst I'm saying this though? I suppose the only real negative is something my friend pointed out, and I do agree with him to a certain degree, is that they could have found a better way to let the enemy soldiers attack you back. So, for example, whenever you attack the enemy, they'd be stunned for a little bit, but after a while, they just become immune to your attacks, and they'll just smack you one. I know why they've done it. You can't just let someone be a beat stick, but at the same time, I feel like there might have been a better way for them to do it. Maybe let the enemy officers also counter you in some ways. But it is a beat 'em up game, so I don't know. But overall, I think it's solid. There's a very minor thing you can work around it. So, but I don't think it's perfect because of that. There might be a better way to do it. I don't know though. I'm not that kind of person to figure it out. But so yeah, so gameplay, 9 out of 10, I think, and all the side stuff around it as well, like side quests, very solid. It wasn't in your face. So yeah. But overall, I really like this game. You can come home, do a mission or two, enjoy it, relieve some stress, beating up some soldiers, and then put it down. You don't feel like you're stuck here playing it. So it's a nice little one to wind down a little bit for a little bit of fun. Yeah, it's a massive improvement. I'm looking forward to what they do with the next title. A friend of mine suggests that they might do an Origins 2 where they fall on from Chibi. I'll be honest, if they put the same amount of effort into this game that they have for the next title, then it's great. Just more of the same and put more effort into it. And I can feel Koei's put a lot of effort into this game. Whereas previous game iteration, I feel like it's just a copy paste game with a new title, like those football games that EA pump out all the time. Jab, jab, jab. Damn you, EA. Jab, jab, jab. So yeah, overall, very fun game, and I would recommend it to anyone who is interested or just want to have a bit of fun wading to soldiers. I don't think there's another game out there, aside from the previous games they made, that matches up to this. And yeah, it's a very good way to start playing 1 versus 1,000 games. So in terms of overall score, what do you get? Where is my calculator? So what I give it? So 8 plus 9 plus 7 plus 9 divided. My phone calculator is silly, so it equals 33. Divide that by 4. We have a 8.25 out of 10 for the overall score. which I think is a fairly safe score. I think 8 out of 10 is what other reviewers gave it. Kind of feel like they can't upgrade the graphics due to the number of on the screen, unless you have giant battles that aren't lagging. I feel like if you polish things up more, it would start taking a massive hit. Yeah, I have a feeling they couldn't improve the graphics much better than they have given the numbers of screen. But it's very interesting technology. I've not seen other games be able to put that many people on the screen at once, have them do formations and like just flow into battle. I've seen like 100 men just run at a general and just chip his life down really quickly just by hundreds of people mashing him in at the same time. It was very interesting to watch. You're just standing there, all my men have gone berserk. They've gone insane. If you can't have the rest of the environment looking breathtaking and the mobs being blend, so it kind of feels like they have to go the middle ground. The number thing is really impressive. Yeah, I agree. There might be technical disadvantages behind increasing the graphics, but they've concentrated the resources where it really matters, and that's the officers and the main characters themselves, and everything is possible. I mean, I say it's not the best. It doesn't quite match up to modern standards, but at the same time, it's not that far behind. You can tell it's lagging slightly, and it's not the most graphically impressive, but it's not so far behind for me to go, it's not a beautiful game. It is a pretty game, just not as pretty as some others. So yeah, that's where I stand. 8.25 out of 10. Would recommend. Do play. Yeah, that's my review. And I'll stop the recording for now.